Every day we reach closer and closer to a world without our freedoms, and today's topic is just another one of those events that will lead to that regretful future. As the title says, this video is on Apu being kicked out of The Simpsons for being a racist stereotype. This problem all stems from the documentary, The Problem with Apu, created by Hari Kondabolu. The issue with the documentary is that we have a comedian who is crying about his culture being stereotyped, but I can make the argument that The Simpsons make fun of everyone. In The Simpsons, it doesn't matter where you're from, your race, sexuality, or spirituality. Everything is free game. So back to my previous comment on Crybaby Hottie, he's a comedian, so why is he being a crybaby about what we can and can't make fun of? He's walking a very fine line of what's right and what's not. He doesn't deserve to be a comedian. So if he can't take the heat, get out of the fucking kitchen. This is where I would like to show clips on Indians agreeing with me to prove my point, but it looks like most Indians don't care about freedom of speech. I did remember a few months back, I ran into a video by Just Kidding News, which featured Just Rains, but after a good half an hour of searching for it today, I couldn't find it, which leads me to believe two possibilities. Either I'm blind, or Just Kidding News put it on private because they were asked to by possibly Just Rains himself. The reason I'm saying this is because they currently have 3 videos which feature Just Rains on private. So if anyone has that video downloaded, I would recommend uploading it. When I was planning on making this video, I was planning on using that video as the prototype to what I was going to talk about, but had to give it up. But no worries, I found something else that isn't as good as I wanted, but good enough to talk about. Just Rains has a video on Facebook where he's talking to Crybaby Hottie before the documentary was released. Now, is it possible that Crybaby Hottie told Just to have Just Kidding News private the video? Sounds very likely, doesn't it?
You know, me and Wally talk about Apu all the time, and the impact and his significance, and really just the doors that he's opened up for people in our community. You know what I mean, Wally?
Yeah, not just the South Asian community, but I believe every brown community.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's amazing to me that our first person that broke out into the entertainment industry is an animated show of one of the most popular, if not the most popular animated show of all time. That's still running. Isn't it still running?
Yeah, I believe so. I hope so.
And he's still on the show. He's probably the longest South Asian character or entity within the entertainment industry.
Would you say he's your role model?
It would be a goddamn shame if he was not on my top 3.
It's nice to see 2 people agreeing that Apu was really great for the Indian community and how much of a role model he was towards Indians. It's also hilarious that we get a close-up of Crybaby Hottie's face. You can see his pure disagreement on his face. It could also be pure disgust for their different opinions they share.
I just want to say, how much I appreciate you white guys dressing up so realistically. Like, it is amazing. The face paint is right on. You went all in, man. You went all in.
My name's Jared. His name is Willis.
These are just characters.
The gig is up. Yeah, we're here to infiltrate and really study and make a documentary of our own. So the documentary, man, why don't you tell? I know a bit about the documentary because you reached out to me a little while back and told.
It's a bummer that it didn't work out. Dates didn't work out, but we really wanted you in it.
Oh, I would never speak against Apu. I would never. No, it is. But I'm really excited to see it. And if
Now, I don't want to sound like an asshole, but did that comment possibly have some racist undertone, showing his maybe possible dislike towards white people? I concluded that after watching a few of his videos and the documentary. I don't know, but for now, I won't say he's a racist, but if ever it comes out that he is, I wouldn't be surprised. It's also kind of interesting that he just had to cut Just and the other guy, because he isn't a fan of all the praising Apu's getting.
what is it about? Like, what's the beef with Apu? What's the issue?
I mean, he's the longest running South Asian character in North America. And, you know, I think it's like a weird way to represent our parents more than it represents us, right? And the fact that it was done by a white guy is just kind of adds to it. And there's like a history, obviously, of like minstrelsy and like white people, you know, playing like non-white people, something often like in a mocking way, like Peter Sellers in The Party. And this is just kind of like a continuance of that, except it gets grandfathered in because The Simpsons, it's the greatest show of all time.
I completely disagree. What's the issue with some white guy playing an Indian person? What matters is their voice and not anything else. If it's acting, I would agree that we need someone of that race, or at least as close to that race. But if it's voice acting, you're a fucking moron for thinking that it needs to be that race. I would comment on the Peter Sellers thing, but I've never watched that movie, so not stepping foot into something I don't know about. Also, The Simpsons is not the greatest show of all time.
Yeah.
It's like my favorite show.
Yeah.
And it's weird, like when something's your favorite show, yet when you used to watch it every Sunday, you know, like, oh, that's what they're gonna say to me in school the next day.
Yeah.
This is great. I have a head start.
Oh man, yeah.
I'm 5 steps ahead.
How can something be your favorite show when it sounds like you hate Apu? And Apu is easily one of the best, if not the best character on the show. Are you possibly saying that you like seeing everyone else being stereotyped, but as soon as it's your race, it's too far? Now the comment about you being prepared for what kind of bullying you're getting at school because The Simpsons made fun of your race, you might have something there that could be because of different variables, like possibly the fact that you're a crybaby and won't try to but I won't try to discredit your childhood for being made fun of because kids were being mean. Because kids are mean. I'm done with Crybaby Hottie. I just barely reached the 3-minute mark and I still have 10 minutes left. Watching him isn't very fun, fuck it. If I get 1,000 views, I'll force myself to watch the whole video, while explaining why he's run, and at the same time I will continue making fun of Crybaby Hottie. Anyways, that's all for today. Now it's time to talk about why this is a horrendous thing for freedom of speech. What Crybaby Hottie did was to go out of his way to find people who also felt the same way he did to spread this bullshit agenda. So we pretty much have grown adults who've had a grudge against The Simpsons since they were kids and couldn't grow out of it. Sounds like they might have been mentally stunted. How do you hold a grudge for so long? Back to my point, the reason this is bad is because thanks to Crybaby Hottie, The Simpsons have pretty much been cornered to the point where they have to change. So what do? They get rid of Apu. And the reason this is bad is because Crybaby Hottie has succeeded. So now that Crybaby Hottie has won, it's showing other people that if they become a Crybaby Hottie, they'll get what they want. This is the same shit that recently started happening in the gaming community. Someone complained about a game and the game community gave in. And just today, some Native Americans were being Crybaby Hotties. And what happened? Nintendo gave in. This is becoming a problem. This is why this is wrong. So I hope that The Simpsons won't go through with this and will have Apu stay, because this will start creating a precedence that we might not be able to get out of. We might start going into a time period where by just complaining about a show because you disagree with what's happening on the show, you can get rid of that event, and it is retarded. If you made it this far, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and share the video.